Hello and welcome back to another week here at Knack Kitchen, where today we are making a no-bake raspberry cheesecake. Cheesecakes of any kind are honestly one of my favorite desserts, but this raspberry cheesecake is absolutely out of this world. And without wasting any more time, let's just dive into this video and see how we make this. So the first thing that we'll do is prepare a raspberry jam for our raspberry cheesecake. And for that I have some frozen raspberries and some sugar. We're just going to heat this on medium-high heat for about 10 to 15 minutes until this starts to resemble the consistency of a jam. I made this the last week as well, so there's a video on this and I'm going to link that in the description box below. So you can have a look at that for more details. And once this resembles the thick jam consistency, we'll just add a little bit of lemon juice, stir that in, cook this for another 2 minutes, and then our jam is ready. This is what we're looking for. It goes into a heat-proof bowl for now, and we'll start working on the rest of our cheesecake. So the first thing we'll do is prepare our base, and for that I have some Oreo biscuits. I've just crushed them in a mixer grinder. You can do that by hand as well. Then you're going to go ahead and add some melted butter to this and just mix this all through until we have something which resembles the consistency of wet sand. And then we're just going to line our cheesecake tin with this mixture. You can grease your tin. You can also use some parchment paper if you want. It just helps to easily remove the cheesecake. Clearly I did not do that here, but you can certainly do that just for extra precaution. So now I'm just using a glass, rather the back of a glass, to flatten this all out. And once we've got our flat cheesecake base ready, we're just going to refrigerate this while we start working on the filling. Now for the filling, we're going to first start with working on the gelatin. We need to bloom that first. So here I have some gelatin and some room temperature water, which is important. You either use cold water or room temperature water, and we're just going to stir this and let this dissolve. So we're going to set this aside for about 5 to 10 minutes and work on the rest of our base. So for that I have some cream cheese here. I'm using store-bought cream cheese today, but you can certainly use homemade cream cheese. I'm going to link that in the description box too. And we're just going to give this a quick whisk to loosen it a little, and then we'll add some sugar and give this a proper mix, and you'll see that we'll have a smooth mixture in just under a minute. So once we have a smooth mixture, we're going to go ahead and add some yogurt. You can also use sour cream over here if you want. And then we're going to mix this nicely until everything is evenly combined. And then we're going to go ahead and add some vanilla extract and lemon juice for flavor. And then we'll give this one quick mix as well until everything is evenly incorporated. So this is the consistency of a cheesecake mixture as of now. It's glorious just as is, and it's quite tasty as well, but it's not done yet. We need to add our gelatin mixture and some whipped cream as well. So we'll set that aside, get our gelatin mixture out. I'm going to microwave this for about 10 to 15 seconds, and then we'll add this to our cheesecake mixture. Make sure to get all of your gelatin into this mixture, and now we're just going to either fold this in. You can use a whisk, you can be as vigorous as you want. The main goal is to just mix this all through entirely, and then we're going to set this aside and whip up our cream. So today I'm using unsweetened whipping cream because that's all I could find, and hence I have some icing sugar on this side. But if you're using sweetened whipping cream, then you don't need the extra sugar. And now we're just going to whip this until we have stiff peaks. It is not completely stiff, because if you make it too stiff, then your cheesecake won't be as creamy as you want it to be. So it's certainly going to be more than soft peaks, but slightly less than stiff peaks. So this in total should take about 3 to 4 minutes on medium-high speed. That's the kind of peaks we're looking for. And then we're going to fold this into our cheesecake mixture in 2 halves. Make sure to fold this and be as gentle as you can so as to not knock out too much of the air from this batter. So once we folded in half of the cream, we're going to go ahead and add the remaining cream and fold that in as well. So now I'm just using my electric beater to mix this all nicely, just for about 35 to 40 seconds, and we'll have a uniform batter. And then we're going to make an ombre effect. It's totally optional, but I think it looks absolutely glorious. So we're just going to take out 1/3 of the batter and add that first to our chilled cheesecake base. And then we're going to wiggle this and spread it out completely, and then put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes to set. As for the remaining 2/3 of the batter, we'll add half of the jam at first so as to get a light pink color, which you're going to see very soon. And this is somewhat the color which you're going to get, and we're going to divide that into 2 halves, and to one of the halves we're going to add the remaining raspberry jam, and that way we will have 3 distinct colors in our cheesecake batter. Now if you don't want an ombre effect, it's totally fine. All you can do is just add the entire raspberry jam to your entire cheesecake mixture in the beginning itself and set that all at once. But for the ombre effect, you add the first layer, give it about 25 minutes in the fridge, then you add the second layer, make sure to spread that out nicely, and then we're going to tap this on the countertop as well, and then put this in the fridge for another 25-30 minutes. Once that is set, we'll add the final layer, and then we're just going to again move this around, ensure that everything is evenly spread out, and then this goes into the refrigerator overnight. The minimum time period would be about 4 hours. Make sure to cover it with a plastic wrap. So on the next day, I have the cheesecake. It's completely set. We're going to transfer this onto a serving plate, and then we're going to top this with some more raspberry jam. So here I have some more jam that I've prepared. I'm going to leave the ingredients for this in the description box below. The method is still the same. We're just going to cook this for a little less time so as to have a little more spreadable jam. And then we're just going to add all of this onto the top of our cheesecake and spread this out with the back of a spoon or a spatula. And then our cheesecake is finally ready to be served. So here you have my recipe for the most amazing no-bake raspberry cheesecake. It is absolutely delicious and a thing of beauty. The layers are absolutely gorgeous. Now you can't really see the layers from the sides, but that's because while demolding it just gets a little uneven. The best way to avoid that is to use some acetate sheets, but this cheesecake was just for everybody at home, so the presentation not really the key factor here, but the taste is absolutely out of this world. And I'm just going to slice into this cheesecake because I certainly deserve a well-earned piece, and you'll be able to see the beautiful layers that are there on the inside. I'm salivating even right now just looking at it because it's just that delicious. And here you can see the glorious layers, the beautiful ombre effect. This cheesecake is so delightful, and I really hope that you give this recipe a try. If you enjoyed this video, then please do give a like, do share and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, thank you so very much for watching, and I'm gonna see you next week.